Listen, I hit a point where I was doing self-improvement so hard that I was actually making my life worse. Ayanla was not fixing my life. I was saying yes to everything, doing the absolute most, and walking around like a burnout iPhone stuck on 1%, still refusing to admit that I needed a charger. Then I stopped doing 5 tiny but disrespectful things to myself. And in 30 days, whole shift, my energy came back, my attitude softened, and my spirit said, finally, sis, you've listened. Now this first one, you might not like it, but you're gonna feel it. And number 2, ooh baby, she's going to drag you lovingly by your edges.
Dr. Nina, the girl next door, beautiful brown baby doll.
But before we get into it, YouTube has been acting cute with the notifications. So if anything resonates with you, drop a like and a comment. Even if it's just, I was here. It helps this whole community stay connected. Thing 1, I stopped saying yes out of guilt. Told you I was about to have you punch in the air. I had a chronic case of, sure, I can do it. Meetings, committees, favors, emotional support, random tasks. All of that. One day I randomly looked at my calendar and realized I hadn't had a thought to myself in weeks. Not even a thought. Every square was filled with someone else's needs. Work needs, family needs, friend emergencies that weren't quite emergencies, people needing just 5 minutes. And it always turned into about 45. At one point, I was basically the unpaid emotional support human. And that was for anybody with my phone number or my address, which I don't give out my address like that, but. And the wild part, I kept telling everybody, give me 1 more minute. While giving myself absolutely nothing. When you're always last on your own list, burnout isn't a surprise. It's a guarantee. And baby, the resentment that comes with it is not necessary. It only keeps a stress cycle going. So I created what I call my hell yes filter. If it doesn't make me perk up, it's a no. And guess what? The world did not end. My yeses finally meant something and people actually started respecting them. And do not think that you're selfish for saying yes to yourself. If you don't move, nothing else does. I'm talking for kids, for family, for husbands and wives, whatever it is, you have to take care of you first, and you shouldn't feel bad about it. And anybody who got something to say, send them on over here. Dr. Nina got a word or 2 for them. Thing number 2, I stopped treating survival mode like it was my personality. I used to think that I was the strong one, the productive one, the I'm fine, don't worry about me one. But none of that was a personality. It was my nervous system working overtime, trying to keep me from falling apart. I was calling exhaustion discipline, calling people pleasing being dependable, calling hyper independence being strong, and calling irritability just being tired. Can I get an amen if you can relate? I'll settle for a like though. I had to tell the truth. I wasn't thriving. I was coping. And coping was wearing super cute outfits. Let me ask you, has anyone ever called you the strong one? That's not a rhetorical question. Go ahead and let me know down below in the comments. And when they did you want to scream? Because it ended up feeling more like a burden than a compliment. Being the strong one is lonely. I'm literally welling up with tears right now, okay? But I don't want to mess up my makeup. Being the go-to person, that's heavy. Being the one who always handles everything, that's draining. I was so used to surviving at one point that I forgot that peace was actually an option. I forgot that rest was allowed. I forgot that my worth had nothing to do with how much I produce. Once I stopped treating survival mode like my personality, I finally saw who I was underneath all that hustle. And she needed gentleness, space, oxygen, a little bit of babying in there as well. It's okay to need what you need. It's okay to admit that you're not always strong. And sometimes it's a characteristic of you to have strength when necessary. And that's just fine. And I've in fact uncovered that about myself. I'm not meant to be strong all the time. Yes, my name is Miss Perseverance of SS Endurance, okay? AKA all day. However, I also have to realize I have to rest and relax and give back to myself and make sure that I'm doing the things necessary to not always be in survival mode. That's how we have strokes. That's how we have heart attacks, and we ain't got time. So this is where Masterclass genuinely came in clutch. And this video today is sponsored by Masterclass. And it hit at the exact right moment. I took their brain health class and learned something that shifted everything. Perfectionism, overproductivity, even survival mode. They were speaking to me. These are all brain patterns. Your brain loops behaviors to protect you. Did you know that? I wasn't broken. I was wired and socialized in a lot of these cases. And just like y'all be saying that I be in your bushes, I felt like Masterclass was too with this one. I felt like they was looking all in my window, telling me all my business. Then I took Issa Rae's class. Y'all, life-changing. She talks about creating from your own truth, not shrinking to fit into places that you've outgrown. Ooh, watching her break things down felt like permission to be me again. And the best part, you can learn from these world-class experts while getting ready, commuting, working out, anywhere. I'd put little Hunter down for a nap, turn on a class, and it felt like having one of my mentors right there beside me, minus the scheduling and or the copay. And because it's the holiday season, you can get up to 50% off an annual masterclass subscription. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code here so that they know that I sent you. With over 200 classes for just $10 a month billed annually, it's one of the best investments that I've made in my personal growth in a while. Learn from the world's best to become your best with Masterclass. Thing 3, I stopped trying to fix everybody's life because I ain't Ayanla. I'm Dr. Nina or whatever, but you get me. This one makes even more sense after survival mode because I'm gonna tell you this nicely, sis. Sit down, have a seat. Fixing people is a survival habit. I knew it was a thing when folks would come to me with the same issue for the 8th time. And instead of just listening, I'm Googling solutions, sending resources, voice notes, and creating a whole strategy list. Almost like I was interviewing for a job that they didn't post. Nobody hired me. Nobody was paying me. Y'all know how I am about the coin, okay? And nobody was even using the advice anyway. Now, mind you, I do have those people that do. I have my trusted sources and people I love to talk to that just need a helping hand. And sometimes you just need a listening ear. I ain't talking about those people. And I want you to be honest with me. Has this ever been you? Your friend calls crying about a man that she doesn't even like. I've been that friend before. And suddenly you're knee deep in screenshots, pros and cons lists, emotional support voice notes. Like I said, no judgment. I've been on both sides. But somehow you end up more tired than the person with the problem. I had to learn this. Supporting someone is not the same as saving them. Take it in. And saving them is not my assignment or yours. Now listen, I empathize, I show up, but I don't walk away carrying their homework. Thing number 4, I stopped drowning in everybody else's noise. I wasn't just scrolling. I was overstimulating myself with emotional paralysis. I knew more about strangers' routines, skincare, drama, divorces, and even their productivity hacks than I knew about my own thoughts at the time. That's a shame. But let me ask you something. Have you ever realized that you know more about people online than you know about yourself? Silence felt uncomfortable, so I filled it with noise. But it wasn't entertainment, it was distraction. And distractions, those can become drugs. I had to relearn quiet, how to just quiet my mind, allow myself to be bored, allow myself to do nothing. I had to relearn what my voice sounded like without 30 others telling me what to think. Now I intentionally create pockets of silence, even 5 minutes in the car before driving off or my second office, the garage. I sit in there sometimes before I walk into the house. That's where my clarity lives. Thing number 5, I stopped gaslighting my own needs. I used to convince myself that I was fine while I was clearly unraveling. And I've been there many times, y'all, behind the scenes. I'd be exhausted, call it being strong. I'd be anxious, call it being busy. I'd be hurt and call it being dramatic. I'd be overstimulated and call it just life. I was invalidating myself, my feelings, my surroundings, and I was doing it in real time. Downplaying my stress, minimizing my pain, talking myself out of feelings that were trying to save me. So let me ask you, have you ever dismissed your own needs in a way that you wouldn't tolerate from anyone else? I want you to sit with that, but I also want you to comment down below. I had to learn this. If I don't take my needs seriously, nobody else will. And honestly, a lot of women, especially Black women, we are taught to put ourselves to the side. We're taught to only pay attention to the things that really credit and help other people so that we can definitely stand out as those who are helpers, those who are self-sacrificing. And I had to say, absolutely not. Not today, Satan. Absolutely not. And I've been called everything under the sun. Selfish, self-centered. I don't care. Still, I have to put myself first. Now I listen when my body whispers so I don't wait for it to scream. Because baby, if nobody will sit you down, God will, okay? Every single time. I take breaks before I crash. I rest before I feel forced to. And I don't call myself dramatic anymore for having real human emotions. Gaslighting myself, now that kept me in survival mode. But honoring myself, that brought me back. So friends, those are the 5 things I stopped doing that changed my life in 30 days. These are quick wins. Saying yes out of guilt, treating survival as personality, fixing problems that aren't mine, drowning in noise, gaslighting my own needs, all of that. And I probably could add to the list. but those are the big ones. Which one dragged you lovingly by your edges? Drop it in the comments and hit that like button so YouTube can stop playing like we don't know each other. Just know that I see you and I'm rooting for you. Make sure that you comment, share this video with someone who can use it, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. Beautiful brown baby doll. Peace.